Estimate the value of irrational numbers. Lesson 2 notes. Example number 2. Plot each irrational number at its approximate location on the following number line. Now I kind of already worked ahead. If we were doing this in class, we would put the numbers in our calculator and we would find the decimal numbers, which I've already done. So go ahead, pause your video, and get those numbers written down. You could actually flip over your page and do the same thing for example 3 as well. So there are the 8 different decimal numbers for examples 2 and 3. Go ahead, pause your video, and get all 8 written down. Okay. We are going to round each of these numbers to the nearest hundredths. Then we will plot them on our number line. Okay, so for this one, if I'm rounding it to the hundredths, the 0 would not push the 8, so it would stay 11.18. For B, the hundredth spot is a 7. The 2 would not push the 7, so it would stay 4.47. For C, the 5 would push the 9 in the hundredth spot. So I would add 1 to the 9 and therefore have to carry, that would become a 10 and carry the 1. So this would round to 9.70. 9.70. Here's my hundredth spots. Since the 1 follows it, the 1 would not push the other one. Therefore, it would stay 5.81. All right, now we're going to take these rounded numbers and we're going to plot them at an approximate location on the number line. All right, before we do that, the easiest way to look at these is to think money. Think money, okay? I'm going to use the 1 and the 2. So think of this 1 right here as $1, and this is $2. So that's $1 and $2. What would be between $1 and $2? Well, this would be 150. What's halfway between 1 and 150? Thinking money, that'd be 1/4. So that'd be 125. Between 150 and 2 would be 1.75, because that would be 3/4. So if you think money, it makes plotting these points much, much easier. Okay? So let's do that now. Let's start with A. 1118. 1118. So it has to fall between 11 and 12. This right here would be 1150. 1118 is less than 1150. You do not need to draw this line. I'm going to draw it for a reference point. So halfway between 11 and 1150 is our 1125. So now you need to ask yourself, is 1118 greater than 1125 or less than 1125? 1118 is less than that. So in other words, the point should be on this side of that line. So this is my point, and I'm going to label that A because it was example A. So it should be 11. It'd be between the 11 and the 11.5, but a little closer to the 11. Again, this is an approximate location. So it should be between 11 and 11.5, but a little bit closer to the 11. All right, for B, if you had $4.47, think of it as money. $4.47 is really close to $4.50. $4.50. Well, right here would be where your 450 is. Since 447 is really close to that, but not quite 450, I'm going to put my point right next to that line and label that B. $9.70. $9.70. Again, this would be $9.50 in the between. I'm going to draw a line. You do not need to draw it. Halfway between $9.50 and 10 would be $9.75. So our number is $9.70. $9.70 is just a little bit less than $9.75. So our point is going to be a little less than that. So your point for C should be between 950 and the 10, but just slightly closer to the 950, or the 9.5. We'll label that C. Last is the 15.81. 15.81. Here is our 15.5, or 1550. Do not draw this line. This would be our 1575. So 1581 is just a little bit more than the 1575. So I'm going to put my point right there. In other words, 1581 is between your 15.5 and your 16, but closer to the 16. And we'll label that D. Again, these are approximate locations. If your point isn't exactly the same place as mine, that's okay, as long as it's in the general area. If you have any questions for example 2, please let me know.